If you're watching this video, chances are you've watched other videos similar to this, and chances are as well that you've heard people say that in order to get what you want and to allow what you want to come into you, you have to let go, or you need to detach from it, right? That's very true. But I feel like, in my experience at least, the way that people explain it, it's a little bit confusing. So I'm going to explain it in a different way that I hope resonates a little bit more with you. So resistance, we all know that saying, what you resist persists. Very true. If you find yourself in a situation that you don't want to be in right now, you could be in the shittiest situation. It doesn't matter. The way you get out of that situation and into the one that you want to be in is through acceptance. Acceptance is the same thing, in my opinion, as letting go or detaching. The way you do this, that I have experienced and what has worked for me, is through meditation. So the way you detach is through sitting with yourself. When you can learn to sit with yourself and sit with your emotions and watch them as if they're somebody else's, that means that you're not creating stories around what you're experiencing within. Even if you're feeling angry and you're sitting there with your eyes closed and you're feeling the anger, you're not creating a story around the anger itself. You're not sitting here saying, oh, I can't believe this is going on, or this person said this, or oh, that thing is pissing me off right now. I'm angry because X, Y, and Z. No, you're just noticing that there's anger. No, sorry. You're just noticing that there's anger, and you sit with the anger itself or whatever emotion is present. And the more you can just sit with it without identifying with it, without creating a story around it, it fades away. And in my experience, it fades away pretty quickly. And I've done this with things that have triggered the fuck out of me. Like, I'm telling you, like, triggered the fuck out of me. I'd sit with it. And initially, for me, in my experience, the first few times I did it, okay, I'm gonna be real with y'all. The thing that triggered the fuck out of me was my cats bathing. I don't know why, but I have super sensitive hearing. And for whatever reason, whenever my cats would bathe, it's loud. Like, to me, it's loud and it's annoying. And I would always like make them stop whenever they would start, or I would leave the room. But I started sitting with myself when they started bathing. And instead of running away or making them stop bathing, I would sit there with my eyes closed and I would listen to them bathe. And I would be sitting there with my eyes closed, just listening to them bathe. And I felt so much anger boiling up within me. And I was just sitting there saying to myself, nope, we're going to sit with this feeling. And I just paid attention to the feeling. I paid attention to the anger. I didn't know why I was so angry with it, but I would just sit there and pay attention to it. And the first few times I did it, there was a lot of anger. But the more I started doing it, the longer I was able to sit with it without it bothering me as much, until it really didn't bother me at all. And mind you, this is something that I deal with every single day for years. I've had my cats for 7 years and 5 years. So years I've been dealing with this, and I was able to release that trigger, that strong trigger, in just a week or two. And it might not take that long. Maybe whatever it is that you're experiencing might not affect you in the way that certain things affect me, so on and so forth, whatever. This is just a silly example that I'm using, but the concept stands true for everything, for any situation, for any circumstance you're in. It doesn't matter if it's career, relationships, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It could go for anything. This is just an example I'm using because it works. And if you can apply this to whatever it is that you're going through, see for yourself the difference that it makes in your life. I speak with conviction with this because I've experienced it. Everything that I'm speaking about right now, I've also learned through the book The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. If you haven't read that book, bro, please do yourself a favor and read it. I read it either 2 or 3 times now. The first time I read it, it made sense. I didn't fully grasp what he was talking about, but I was like, okay, yeah, I understand. But the second time I read it, I really started applying what it is that he talks about in the book. And that's when it really, really shifted my mindset in, oh shit, this stuff works. And not only that, but I live my life through those concepts now, because there's just no other way to live. Any other way that you live is just destructive, in my opinion. And, you know, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. I hope that my explanation of letting go, detaching, letting go of that resistance, I hope that it's made a little bit more sense to you if nobody else's explanation has.